Hello everyone. Now today I thought I'd start something that could help quite a few of you out there, and not just the Chibson fans but guitarists as a whole, beginners to intermediate players really, because I'm going to try and cover all the basics of what to look for should you wish to buy a Chibson once you received it in the post. Now I know there's always going to be the people out there that trash these Chibsons from the outset, but let me tell you that I've had a huge number of these in my hands over the years for repairs, some for upgrades, but also as trade-ins, and I've even bought and owned a few, just like this one, and I can honestly say that these have come a long way, and can often with a few tweaks and upgrades be very, very nice guitars. Some can even be fine straight from the box. Now this guitar I bought second hand from a player that did literally nothing to it since it arrived from China, so basically what I saw was what he got from the original builder or seller. So let's take a look at exactly what's in this box. Yep, as you know by the thumbnail, it's a Chibson SG standard, but let's have a closer inspection. The first thing I noticed was that it looked gorgeous. The paintwork is flawless and the condition is great too, with only very minor finish marks that can only be seen in certain lights, which is perfectly common for 99% of second-hand guitars, and even these Chibsons straight from the factory. The volume and tone knob spacing is very good, which can be very hit and miss on these Chibsons, and the new Gibson style bridge with the smaller pins are a very welcome arrival, if of course they do their job. But for looks it's bang on, and was usually a way to tell a Chibson from a Gibson, as the Chibson always used to house a more Epiphone style bridge. In fact, quite a few actually used Epiphone bridges with the trademark ground away. As we move up the neck, I'm pretty blown away by this binding. It looks and feels impeccable, and they've even put the fret nibs on, which was another surefire giveaway, so again top marks for this Chibson. The nut looks fine and measures in at 43mm. It looks and feels like it could be a Graphtec nut, but I'm not 100% sure, but it's been cut fine and is another plus to this guitar. Turning this guitar over, the paintwork again is stunning, and it has all the looks of being a one-piece body, though again you can never be sure. It's the same with the neck. It looks like it's carved from one piece, but with the paint we have no real way of knowing. The angle of the headstock is definitely more accustomed to the Epiphone than the Gibson, so this continues to be a telltale sign that this is not a bona fide Gibson SG. But as with all of these guitars, this is only noticeable up close. The tuners have no markings on, but again look the part from a distance, and in hand they feel a bit on the cheaper side, but are more than up to the job and keep tuned very well. Now out of the box and once tuned up, this guitar plays fine for a beginner, but if you're a little more of an advanced guitarist, then this quite clearly needs a setup, as the action is very low to the point where there are one or two buzzes along the fretboard, but these would be more or less unnoticeable to anyone who plays cowboy chords and simple bar chords. This only really becomes apparent when playing the odd single notes higher up the neck, so the next job I would say would be to plug this in and see exactly how it sounds. Now again, whilst this sounded fine, there are some obvious flaws and it's sadly the same old story. These are cheap Chinese ceramic pickups that are not wax potted, so have very limited tonal range and are extremely microphonic and prone to feedback. Now I'm not saying that these are useless, in fact far from it, but if you're thinking of gigging, modding or holding onto this guitar, your first upgrade really should be these pickups. Now when you take the back off to see the electrics, you can see that again typically these are very cheap Chinese small pots and wiring, and again although they do the job perfectly fine, if you were to upgrade these pickups then you really should upgrade the pots and wiring too. Looking closer again at this guitar, you can see that the pick guard is slightly off and a bit cheap looking, so for me this has to go. The poker chip is also a little off centre, but it will do, though it's a very cheap and easy replacement should you wish to do this too. Moving up the neck, the trapezoids look and feel fantastic, but as you get to the headstock you notice that the SG logo on the truss rod cover is a little off centre, but it is a 2-screw bell cover, so you would again only notice this with very close scrutiny, but sadly the transfers on the headstock are both misaligned, as is the cut of the open book headstock, all of which would be undetectable from a distance if you were just watching someone play this guitar. Now as usual, when I do a video about a Chibson, I don't get involved with the more issues of playing, buying or owning a Chinese copy. These are not illegal to own or play in public, but they are illegal copies that can't be sold as the real thing. In fact, these guitars have come on so much that many players buy these exact models but choose to have them with a custom name brand or none at all, but obviously the majority of the people want the look of a Gibson without the price tag. But whatever views you have regarding the Chibson, in my eyes, if this makes a young person or a beginner pick up a guitar or any musical instrument, then that's only a good thing. Now as we've seen and heard, this guitar is perfectly fine, but of course it can be made better with a few simple upgrades and tweaks, so let's go through the pros and cons. 1. The paintwork is stunning. 2. Volume and tone knob spacing is good. 3. New Gibson style bridge is great. 4. Binding on the neck and fret nibs is lovely. 5. The nut is cut fine and could even be a Graphtec. 6. Both body and neck look to be one piece, but I must stress that you can never be 100% sure without stripping off the paint. 7. Tuners look and feel fine and keep tune, which is everything you need from tuners. We also know that there are a few cons that we discovered and discussed here, and they are 1. The guitar could do with a setup out of the box. 2. The pickups could do with being changed. 3. This would benefit from full size pots and some better wiring. 4. The pick guard just doesn't look right and could do with being changed. So in the next video we should address these issues and if need be correct them, so you too can set up and even upgrade your Chibson, or indeed any guitar that you own. So as I always ask, if you enjoy the content I create, please then take the time to like and subscribe. It literally costs you nothing but a few minutes of your time, but helps me to continue making these free independent videos and reviews, and also helps spread these videos to a wider audience that may well be in need of some free help and advice. So until the next time, as always, thanks for watching.